In this video I will show you how you can write product descriptions that really sell, because this is a very important task in order to make your customer decide for your products in your store. Many people think that with the ad the persuasion basically ends, but in reality the product description is so essential because it's basically the last thing that your customer sees before he makes the final decision to buy your product. So in the description I also put in the video description, I put in a link to a product description template file. So I put in a few product description templates that you can use and modify for your business that worked for me in particular, and I hope it helps you. So let's just get started with the 4 steps. So first of all, benefits, not features, and this is very important when you write descriptions, because people tend to just list all the different features, for example size, material, color, and all these things in a list, and yeah, basically that's the product description. But you must remind yourself that your customers are not robots that just scan your listing and go through very specific little features and little points that they recognize and then say, okay, this is a good product, this is a bad product. So your customers are human beings who are basically seeking for benefits for them. So if you write, for example, color blue, material leather, size, I don't know, weight 1 kilogram or something, this won't really help the customer. I mean, of course he might still buy because because he really likes your product and your picture and so on and your price, but your conversion rate will be way higher if you really address the benefits that the customer has from your product. And you can basically do this with everything. So it doesn't matter whether it's a coat for rainy days, where you say, for example, this coat keeps you dry and warm in any weather, and really go into detail about this instead of just saying material, I don't know, something. So it doesn't matter what you sell, whether it's clothing or electronics or pet stuff or everything. You can basically always point out features that come, point out benefits that come with the features, and you just have to turn the feature around. So instead of just listing it, think of a benefit that comes from this feature for your customer and then addressing it in the product description. You can also say, for example, with the feature, you can now benefit. So basically you talk about the feature first, and then you say what benefit you have from this feature, or you say you have this feature, you have this benefit because of this and this feature. Very important point to really convince the customer to buy. The second thing is write enticingly. So this is highly important because a product description should not only describe, it should also have a sales message in it already. So it's not only about CTAs, buy now button and all these things, and have these trust badges and everything. This is not enough. So you need to have a product description that first talks about the product in a great way and puts it in the best light, but also convinces the buyer already to buy. So if you are really bad at this, I mean, I put it in the template as well, in the product description templates. But if you're really bad at this, you might even think of getting a copywriter from Upwork or Freelancer, and for example let him write 10, 20, 30 product descriptions and use them in a very effective way. So I know one of my clients who hired a professional copywriter for all his products. I think it were like 50 or 60. He saw a really big boost in conversions after he had this professional sales copies, because when the customer reads through the description and it's only very objective, and you're just really strongly talking about the benefit, about the features only, without any sales message, then the customer doesn't feel like he's addressed personally. So write enticingly to the customer. This also includes the benefits, of course, but then use things like buy now to blah blah. Write some things and really create the desire in the customer to buy the product now, and not just read the description because it's right there on the page right now. And like I said, think about hiring a professional copywriter if you don't feel comfortable doing this yourself. The next thing is answering questions and address concerns. So in almost all products, there are certain concerns and questions that are very typical. So if it's about an electronics product, for example, many people will ask something maybe about the battery or about how long it takes to charge or whatever. There are so many things in each product, and if you do a little research about your product, or if you maybe used it before or anything, you may be able to think about typical questions and concerns that your customers might have. And if you manage to answer them in the description already, you save yourself a lot of time, and you also increase your conversions, because there are many people who read the description and then they have a certain question or concern, but they don't want to contact you because of this. So maybe they have just one little question, but you know, they don't feel like writing you an email, or maybe you have a chat, but they still think, well, I don't want to start chatting now, maybe I have to wait some time until the person is there, and well, I will just stop it and go somewhere else. But if you address the typical questions and concerns in the description already, you can really reduce this amount of people who just go away because their questions are unanswered, and you can really take an advantage of this. So it's not like a typical FAQ that is for the whole page, but in the description you basically write some sentences where it comes through that you thought about the common flaws of your product or the common questions that your customer might have, and then you answer them directly in the description already, so that the customer doesn't feel like he has to go somewhere else to get to know about this question. And this can be done when you have a product that you know something about. Maybe you know already what the customer might ask, or you just do a research on this type of products. Maybe there are a lot of common questions that everyone who buys such a product has. And if you do this research and put it in your description, it can help you greatly to boost your sales. And the last thing is, and it's not really something to use to sell, but something that you should do anyway, if you have a lot of products and if you have product descriptions that keep in mind all the things that I listed before and that are not just that tall with only bullet points, then you also need to think about SEO friendliness. So the longer your descriptions, the more space you have to write some SEO friendly content and gets ranked in search results and so on. So in one of my stores, who is not that old, I think like 4 or 5 months now, we only have a handful of products, but we have very, very, very good descriptions in this store, and the descriptions are so SEO friendly that we get ranked for several keywords in Google, even though our page is very, very small. And SEO friendly doesn't mean that you should put in as many keywords as possible in like this amount of text, you know, but because Google knows by now which is like some kind of organic SEO and organic text that you use, or which is just written to get ranked as good as possible. So do SEO on your products. You don't have to do it perfectly. I mean, if you don't need to hire some SEO consultant if you're just starting out, because I think this is the wrong investment if you are starting out with e-commerce. But if you know a little bit about it, or if you think that it could help you, which I recommend to do, get some videos about SEO, learn some small free courses, and write at least a little bit SEO friendly in your descriptions, so that you might also increase the organic traffic that you get from Google and other search engines, because this means free traffic, which is usually very, very targeted as well. So I hope you like these 4 steps on how to write a product description that sells. Like I said, check the description to get the free product description templates I made. And yeah, I hope this helps your business. See you in the next video, guys.